The glowing screen illuminated the dark living room. A sudden calendar notification appeared on the desktop. This event was never created manually. The display showed a large financial transfer was automatically accepted. The digital world was invading a safe physical space. The screen demanded immediate action, claiming a decision was already made. Panic was the only weapon the trap possessed. Closing the laptop was the first step toward taking back control. The real battle required finding a way to verify the truth without clicking the suspicious link. Independence was on the line. Sitting in the dark living room, the laptop screen illuminated the face while reviewing the monthly budget. The printed numbers on the desk looked correct. The quiet of the Philadelphia home usually brought peace after a long day. Then a sudden calendar notification popped up on the desktop. This event was never created manually. The screen showed a large financial transfer as approved. The authorization was never given. The event was auto-accepted. The heart raced as the digital world invaded the safe physical space. Staring at the glowing pixels, the notification claimed a decision was already made. It demanded immediate action. A hasty anxiety rose in the chest. The shadows in the room seemed to stretch across the floorboards. The memory of son Anthony warning about digital traps surfaced clearly. He always said to pause, explaining that scammers rely entirely on panic. The decision was made to pause. Touching the cold laptop edge, the physical metal provided grounding. A whisper escaped into the empty room, stating that this was never agreed upon. The screen flashed again. The transfer confirmation mirrored the false consent. It wanted a click on a suspicious link to cancel the action. The text used urgent language, demanding action right now. Engaging with the message was the exact trap. Pulling the hand away from the mouse, the device was pushed away. Silence was chosen over the demanding urgency. The room was quiet again, but the glowing screen remained open. The fake transfer was still pending in the digital void. The truth needed verification through an official channel. The fixed income had to be protected at all costs. An automated system was not going to steal independence. Taking a deep breath, the calendar invite was examined one last time. The false consent was still there. Neighbor Lane always said to trust what could be touched. This digital threat could not be touched. A physical way to stop it had to be found. The real battle was just beginning. The ticking of the hallway clock seemed louder in the silence. The glowing rectangle felt like an open window into a hostile space. Every second spent staring at the fake approval was a second the scammers hoped would break the resolve. But the resolve held firm. The hands remained in the lap. The breathing slowed down. The mind focused on the solid oak floor beneath the feet. The physical world was still real, and the physical world was safe. The digital illusion would shatter once the proper authorities were contacted. The night was long, but the morning would bring clarity. Morning sunlight filled the Philadelphia kitchen. The bright rays hit the solid oak table, creating a stark contrast to the cold blue glow of the previous night. Physical bank statements were spread across the wood. The crisp paper felt real. It felt safe. Running a finger down the columns of printed numbers, the fixed income was listed here, tangible and accounted for. Yet the invisible digital trap from the dark living room still lingered in the mind. The phantom calendar invite felt surreal against this solid reality. Gripping the paper statement, the knuckles turned white. A whisper echoed in the quiet kitchen, noting that the screen said it was done. The words hung in the air. The physical paper offered no direct protection against a silent, automated theft happening in the digital void. The truth needed verification, but Anthony was busy at the bank. Burdening him right now was not the right move. Absolute certainty was required before making that call. A grounded perspective was needed first. Leaving the statements on the table, the front door was opened to step out onto the porch. The crisp morning air filled the lungs. The digital panic began to recede, replaced by the familiar, comforting sounds of the neighborhood. Birds were singing in the oak tree. A lawnmower hummed in the distance. Neighbor Lane was spotted tending to the garden beds. He was kneeling in the dirt, pulling weeds with steady, deliberate hands. He represented the physical world, the real world. Lane called out a morning greeting without looking up from the small trowel. A calm smile was forced, hiding the slight tremor in the hands. Gripping the wooden porch railing, a reply was given about enjoying the quiet. The voice sounded steady,
even if the heart was still racing. Lane nodded, grounded and observant. Looking back at the front door, the house held the laptop, and the laptop held the threat. An automated system was not going to steal independence. Taking a deep breath, the solid wood under the fingers was felt. The next step was ready, but the foundation had to be secure before facing the screen again. The dew on the grass sparkled in the early light. The smell of damp earth was a strong reminder of the tangible world. Scammers could not replicate the smell of a Philadelphia morning. The digital threats were confined to the glass and wire inside the house. Out here, the rules of the physical world applied. Lane finished pulling a stubborn weed and patted the soil down. He offered a simple observation about the weather being perfect for the tomatoes. A simple agreement was given. The normalcy of the conversation was a balm to the frayed nerves. The mind was clearing. The panic of the midnight notification was fading into a manageable concern. The plan was forming. The official bank number was printed on the back of the monthly statement. That piece of paper was the key to unlocking the truth. The screen inside could flash all the warnings it wanted. The paper statement was the anchor. Returning inside, the kitchen felt different. It felt like a command center. The battle was no longer about fear. It was about methodical, careful action.
Late afternoon shadows stretch across the living room floor. The bright morning sun is gone. I sit on the right side of my wooden desk. The laptop sits on the left. Its screen casts a cold blue glow over my hands. I decided to check the official bank website on my phone later, but the digital trap is not waiting. A sharp chime breaks the quiet house. A new email notification slides into the corner of the screen. The subject line is bold and red. It claims my account faces immediate suspension. The text demands I click a cancellation link to save my funds. The words scream urgency. They use heavy, threatening language. They tell me I have only minutes to act. Simultaneously, the main laptop screen refreshes. The fake transfer screen returns. It now displays a large ticking countdown timer. The numbers drop second by second. It perfectly mirrors the auto-accepted calendar invite from last night. The digital pressure mounts in the quiet room. The ticking sound seems to echo in my ears. The screen flashes a bright warning. Click here to stop the transfer immediately. The red flags are everywhere. The sudden threat, the impossible deadline, the demand for instant action. My heart beats a little faster. The isolation of the empty house makes the glowing screen feel even more demanding. They want me to feel alone. They want me to feel rushed. I look at the ticking numbers. I look at the threatening email. I take a slow, deep breath. I remember Lane's steady hands in the garden dirt. I remember Anthony's clear warnings about digital traps. The trap relies on my panic to finalize the theft. It uses artificial urgency to bypass my careful thinking. I am not trapped. I am just being pressured. I see the manipulation clearly now. They want me to panic and click right now. I pull my hand away from the mouse. The physical distance between my hand and the device feels like a victory. The countdown timer continues to drop. The fake email continues to flash. I do not move. I do not click. I let the digital storm rage on the screen. The false consent is still trying to force my hand, but my mind is clear. The real battle is no longer about the money. It is about keeping my calm. I reach for my physical phone book to find the official bank number. The countdown hits the final minute. The screen flashes brighter. I turn my chair away from the desk. The heavy oak clock in the hallway ticks in rhythm with the digital countdown. The contrast between the mechanical sound and the electronic flashing highlights the absurdity of the situation. I stand up slowly, feeling the solid floorboards beneath my feet. The physical world remains steady, even as the digital world tries to spin out of control. I take one last look at the flashing red numbers, then I walk toward the kitchen.
I turn my chair away from the glowing desk. The ticking countdown continues in the empty room, but I do not look back. I walk to the kitchen counter and pick up yesterday's paper bank statement. The crisp edges feel solid in my hands. The smell of fresh ink and paper grounds me in reality. I trace my finger down the printed columns until I find the official customer service number. It is printed in small black ink at the very bottom of the page. Real, verifiable. I pick up my landline phone from the wall mount. The heavy plastic receiver grounds me. I dial the numbers slowly, pressing each button with deliberate force. The ringing tone is a steady physical sound. It replaces the digital chimes echoing from the other room. A real human voice answers. "Thank you for calling. This is David. How can I help you today?" "I need to verify a pending transfer," I tell him, my voice steady. My screen shows a large withdrawal of 4,500 USD was auto-approved. There is a brief pause. I hear the clicking of a physical keyboard on his end. "I am looking at your account right now, ma'am," David says. "There are no pending transfers. Your balance is completely secure." I let out a slow breath. The manufactured urgency begins to dissolve. "Thank you," I say. "The account is secure." But David clears his throat. "However, ma'am, I do see a login attempt from an unrecognized device in another state just 10 minutes ago. They didn't get the money, but they have your credentials." The relief halts. The digital trap was just a distraction. The real breach is already inside the walls. I look toward the hallway. The laptop is still glowing in the dark living room. The countdown timer must have reached 0. If they have my login, they have my contacts. They have Anthony's number. I grip the phone receiver tighter. The physical paper saved my money, but the invisible threat is still moving through the wires. I need to warn my son before they use my stolen identity to reach him and trick him into sending more funds. The battle for my retirement is not over. It has just changed shape. I hang up the phone and place the heavy plastic receiver back on the wall cradle with a solid final click. The kitchen is quiet again, but the atmosphere has completely shifted. The threat is no longer just a glowing screen in the living room. It is a stolen password. I need to find Anthony.
The early evening shadows settle softly across my Philadelphia living room. The laptop screen still glows with the remnants of the artificial countdown, casting long, pale shapes against the wall. But I do not look at it anymore. I reach out and firmly close the heavy lid. The sharp click of the latch echoes in the quiet house. The cold blue light vanishes instantly. The digital void is sealed shut. I sit in the dim room for a long moment, just listening to the steady, familiar hum of the kitchen refrigerator. The physical silence is a profound relief. The phantom calendar invite is finally gone. I stand up and walk to the kitchen counter. I pick up my cell phone. My hands are completely steady. I dial my son Anthony's number from memory. He answers on the second ring, his voice warm and familiar after a long day at the bank. I tell him everything that happened today. I explain the strange calendar notification, the fake auto-approved transfer, and the ticking countdown timer. I tell him how I ignored the glowing screen and used my printed paper statement to call the official bank number. There is a brief pause on the line. Then I hear his soft, proud laugh. He tells me he always knew I would handle it. I smile, feeling a deep sense of calm wash over my tired shoulders. The screen demanded panic, but I chose calm verification. I am not just a passive target in the digital world. I am the capable guardian of my own life. My independence is completely secure. I hang up the phone and place it gently on the kitchen counter. Walking over to the front window, I look out at the quiet Philadelphia street. Lane's garden is resting in the gentle twilight, the tomato vines swaying slightly in the evening breeze. The physical world remains solid, safe, and entirely my own. I take a deep breath, letting the last of the manufactured tension fade away into the quiet house. The oak table in the dining room holds my printed bank statements, a simple paper anchor that kept me grounded. I rest easily in the dim light, knowing my home, my retirement, and my mind are truly my own.